All right, so today we want to dive into Tarek Runnan's Camino journey.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're looking at his book, The Camino Within, and
Hmm.
we're zeroing in on this one crazy day he had.
Right near Rabe Calzadas.
Yeah, near Rabe Calzadas, and, he was cycling the Camino,
And
which
there's a whole other layer to it. Yeah,
has a whole other layer of, complexity
for sure.
to the whole thing.
Absolutely.
But so the idea here is we want to kind of extract the insights from this really, really challenging day and see what we can, apply to our own lives.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to learn from how he dealt with this particular situation.
Yeah.
He starts out, he's passing through Burgos. It starts raining.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's thinking, okay, I'm going to take one of these shortcuts,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
to get off the national roads and
Get off the beaten path. Yeah.
yeah, get off the beaten path. Exactly.
Yeah.
But, well, the rain turns those shortcuts into mud pits.
Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine.
And he gets bogged down. And that's just the start of it.
Right. So it's not just like, oh, muddy path. It's like,
No.
it's like his bike starts,
His axle gets clogged.
yeah, the axle gets clogged and he's like,
Right.
he's got to stop and clean it.
Yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah.
He's spending like half an hour just trying to get the mud out of his axle.
Oh, man.
And then on top of that, he gets lost.
Oh, no.
No map, dead phone battery.
Oh, wow.
And he finds himself alone in this completely deserted town by like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Exhausted, cold, hungry.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like
A nightmare Camino scenario.
I know, yeah, like I mean, I've had days where, I'm hiking and I'm like, man, I'm tired, but I can't even imagine that on top of a bike.
Right, with all the equipment and everything.
No, not knowing where you are.
Exactly.
So he's in this pretty much awful situation. And I think this is where it gets really interesting because instead of like totally panicking.
Yeah, he makes this conscious decision to just sort of shift his focus. So he leaves his bike.
Oh, wow.
And he just starts walking.
Okay.
And during this walk, he's talking himself out of this worry spiral.
Right.
Starts focusing on his breathing. He starts humming.
Wow.
He even takes some time to meditate as the day ends.
Wow, that's really interesting. So he's basically like actively calming himself down.
Yeah, he's taking control of his internal state, even though everything around him is a mess.
Yeah.
And he even describes this moment as like a glorious spiritual moment.
Really?
Yeah, he says he feels better than fine.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Yeah, it is. It really shows you how much power we have over our own mindset.
Yeah.
Even when things are really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like he's choosing to find the good in this really, really bad situation.
Exactly.
So then what happens? He's walking along. He's feeling good, and then
Well, he runs into a young woman who actually points him in the direction of a hostel.
oh wow, that's great.
Just a short distance away.
So he's not like completely lost in the middle of nowhere.
No, not completely, yeah. He's able to find his way.
Okay, so he finds this hostel, and then what about the bike?
He goes back for it, with this newfound sense of hope, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Even though the bike is still a problem, his mindset is completely different.
Right.
And this is what I think is so key. Like, his change in perspective actually opened him up to a solution.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he had stayed in that panic mode, he might have just been stuck,
Too.
completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, and this is something I think we can all relate to, right? Like, when you're in that state of panic, you can't really think straight.
No, exactly.
And you can't really see the solutions that are right in front of you.
Absolutely.
So he gets to the hostel, and I'm guessing he's not the only one who's had a rough day.
Oh, no, not at all. Actually, the other pilgrims there are all on foot. And they're actually super relieved to see him struggling with his bike.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They're like, oh, thank goodness it's not just us having a hard time.
Wow. That's such a good point. Like, it's all about perspective, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, what you're going through, someone else might be wishing they had your problems.
Exactly.
That's a good reminder.
It is.
So he gets to the hostel. He's with these other folks, and then I guess the next morning, is everything fine, or is there more?
Well, there's one more hurdle. He wakes up to a flat tire.
Oh no.
Yeah, but this time, he's able to find a tiny bit of phone signal,
Oh.
and he uses Google
Oh, nice.
to figure out how to fix it.
Wow, that's great.
So he's able to get his bike rolling again.
That's awesome.
And the other pilgrims are so excited for him.
I bet.
They actually run alongside him for a bit, just like cheering him on.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is. It's really heartwarming.
Yeah. I love that. So basically what's the the big takeaway here?
Well, Tarek puts it really well. He says, uh, life has its own way of working things out. Embrace the mud. You never know what's hiding in it.
Wow, that's a really good one. I like that.
Yeah, it's about surrendering to the difficult situations because you never know what you might find on the other side.
Right, and I think that's so important because it's easy to get caught up in the struggle and the frustration,
Absolutely.
but but sometimes you just gotta like let go and trust that things will work out.
Exactly. And maybe even find something better than you expected along the way.
Yeah, for sure. So for everyone listening, I think a good takeaway here, something to think about is, what's your mud?
Yeah, what's that thing in your life that you're resisting right now?
Yeah, and what might happen if you leaned into it instead?
What unexpected friends or solutions might be waiting for you there?
Yeah, that's a really great question to think about.
Absolutely.
So I think that's all the mud we have time for today.
I think that's a good place to stop
Yeah, but keep embracing that mud,
and
folks.
see what you find.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See you later.